Karen Bonafilio, Inner Realms, Outer Journeys. I know I always tell you this, but we get the best guests on this channel. And today we have Marta. Marta, would you like to say hello to the audience?
Hello, everyone. And hello, Karen. Thank you so much for having me here.
I am excited. When we met originally, you just blew me away. Your humbleness and the way you relate to people, it was absolutely beautiful. You know, those people that come into your life and they touch you, and you did that to me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome to the channel. And would you please tell the audience first about yourself and your gift, and we'll just take it from there.
Well, I don't use normally the word gift, but yes, where would I like to start? Where can I start? Well, I'm a spiritual teacher and a psychic medium, but I have not always been aware that I've been a psychic medium. It's been the awareness that grew up in me, and it came to the surface at various points of my life. Yes, and right now, I feel I do what really ignites my soul, which means is not only I help people with the grieving process when I do mediumship readings and I connect with their loved ones, but I also always equip my clients with their own tools in terms of how they can establish a relationship with their own loved ones. This is where I'm so grateful for those opportunities, because those messages from people weeks after the reading, Marta, I've started receiving signs. Marta, I am speaking with my dad. I'm having coffee with my mom. It just brings me so much joy. So this is where I want to start, that I am so grateful for that opportunity to work with spirit. I'm grateful that they trust me.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Well, how did you discover that you had these gifts? What's your story with that? A lot of people have this epiphany, and some people, have something happen to them, and then they crack wide open with their abilities. How did you get started down this road?
Okay, I'll choose one of the entry points, because I feel there are various ones, and then things get more linear. But one of those moments, it was when I was, after I left an abusive relationship, I went through a very complicated court process, and it lasted for more than 4 years. And I remember on one particular day, I was getting ready for one of the court hearings. I felt very low, depressed, stressed. And all of a sudden, I started hearing the voice of my grandmother. And this was that knowing. I just knew it was her. I didn't question it. Of course, I was surprised that I started hearing her. But the way she phrased, it was just her. I knew it was, I could sense her presence, and she was so hopeful. She kept telling me that everything is going to be okay, that my children were saved, that things were going to work out. So this is how, in a way, this is how it started.
Oh, that's beautiful that she came through and was offering you peace, because you were not feeling that at the time, especially with the court date and everything. Oh, that's great. So did you then start taking classes or reading about it?
Okay.
Because you have a lot. I mean, I'm looking at your bio. You've
Mhm.
got a lot of things to offer people, which we need to talk about those things. But how did you start down the road in your training?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. If I can tell one more short story before that, because when
You
my
can tell
grandmother, okay, when my this is what she
many.
wants to remember, because she's so proud of herself how she pulled this together. So when I started hearing her, of course I knew it was her, but then I have a very developed logical mind, and she wanted to really convince me that it was really her. So I remember after I started hearing her, I started Googling, and I bumped into one of the psychic mediums who was doing spiritual talks. And it happened to be that she has back then published her book, and she was doing a raffle, and you could win a free reading. So I had her book, and I
Wow.
remember one day I was on my way to pick up my children when one of my spirit guides told me, Marta, you have to submit a picture of that book because you're going to get a reading. And then I told to my guide, there's no way I'm going to do it. What are the chances? They're like, so people, this is a very popular psychic medium, and I've never had a reading before.
Oh.
But I am very clear audience, and my spirit guides, they talk. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. Just leave me. So
Mhm.
I submitted this picture, and there's a time difference. So I wasn't able to attend this particular session live. But the next morning, my spirit guide told me, go to the end of this session and recording to the results. And here the psychic medium pulled from the basket my name. And I
Oh.
won a mini reading. And guess who came through? My grandmother. The
Oh,
whole
your grandfather
mini,
did.
my grandmother, the same grandmother that I started hearing during the divorce, came through during this mini reading with the psychic medium. So she wanted to really reinforce that this was real. Um, yes,
She certainly did, didn't she?
yes.
And then you had your first reading. And then what happened after that? You decided, I'm
And
going to
then,
find out everything I
and
can.
and then I remember I watched another psychic medium because before that I didn't even know psychic mediums existed. I had no interest, and it's only after I've started watching other people talking about spirit I've realized that I've always been one, because I've always spoken to God, I've always spoken to angels, I've always spoken to my loved ones. It was just normal. I just didn't know the term. So I bumped into another psychic medium, and she did live readings. And during one of those sessions, I've heard, Marta, you're a psychic medium too. And I laughed. I burst into laughter.
You
I'm like, I've
laughed?
heard everything. I've heard everything about myself, but not that I'm a psychic medium. And my spirit guide told me, Marta, do you know you can do it for others? I'm like, no, I don't.
Oh,
Uh, so, so then I told my spirit guides, okay, if you feel like I can do it for other people, if you feel like I can be of service to other people, if I can give other people the experience that I'm having with my grandmother, please bring me the right teachers on my path. Please teach me how to harness those abilities, because experiencing spirit world since I was a child, and then when I started opening up, it wasn't always very peaceful. There was lots of fear because I didn't know that I could command the spirit world. So I was very scared, and as a child I shut various abilities because of the intensity. And it is with the right teachers, the right teachers basically taught me energy protections. They taught me the power of intentions. I basically was able to bring the power back to me, that I was able to decide what are the energies that I'm bringing forward, what are the energies that I will be channeling.
mhm.
So it's been always spirit led.
Your whole life, it sounds like it, that has been spirit led.
I feel like, yes.
It sounds like it, yeah. Because you were talking to the heavenly kingdom before you even knew, and angels and such.
Yes.
So you were accessing that. Okay,
Yes.
fascinating, fascinating. So then you started down that road, and but you do a lot of different things. Can you tell us about the different modalities that you use?
Uh-huh. Yes, and it's always spirit led. I like to tell this story when I started some years ago doing past life readings. So this is how it's the spirit world who they bring various components, or they send me to the right mentors, and this is how I develop. One day I've heard you're going to do past life regressions for people. And then I said, like, I have no idea how to do it. And they said, don't worry, all you have to do is you have to move your ego aside and you're going to channel, because we want to pass this information through you. And the next day, two of my friends who didn't know that I had this conversation with my spirit guide asked me, Marta, could you do past lives on us? And then this is just an example of one of the modalities. So I know that I, in the past, limited myself by saying I'm just a psychic medium. Whereas spirit world's been telling me that, oh, Marta, but you can also do the energy alignment. You can also connect with angels. So it's throughout the years that I've allowed the spirit world to bring various modalities. That's why I love doing spirit-led sessions, which means that I am not deciding prior to the reading what is it that I am going to do for a client. Of course, you can book a mediumship reading if you've got a particular loved one you want to connect. Of course, you can book an angel card reading. We can do it. But I'm so passionate about those intuitive sessions where I am opening myself up to the energies. I still like to set boundaries. I only connect with those who walk in the white light of God, which means I connect with loved ones, angels, and guides. But I leave it up to the spirit world to decide what is it that my client needs at this particular moment, which means that when I preempt whatever my human self is full of, any emotions, as much as I can, and I become this clear vessel, in this moment, I know that when there is an angel who steps forward, someone needs some messages about unconditional love. There will be a potential healing modality included. I might start getting past life flashbacks. My hands might get warm, or I might just sense an energy of a loved one. But I love not assuming or like seeking and looking for a particular energy. I am so passionate, and I love when I am just waiting for them to come. And then we really know, because what I frequently tell my clients, it is that you're always going to hear what is it that's for your highest good. It's not always what you want, but it will be always very helpful, and it is going to be, well, constructive, and it's something that's going to help you to navigate your life, help you with your current situation, whatever it is. So there are various modalities that I include, and there are different modalities that I include when I work long-term with people in my mentorship programs, because then not only we use the logical mind, and I help people to really come up with a plan how they can really take action and change their lives, but we can also include angels, we can also include loved ones, and we can have this spiritual board meeting, and it makes those
description.
Yeah. So this is what just popped into my mind.
I think it's really fascinating that you go where spirit leads. So when you sit down to do a reading, they're not ticker taping off a whole bunch of questions. Which you will take, but you go where the team has suggested or led you to do with that particular person. So all your readings are going to have a little different flavor to them also.
Yes. Yeah. And of course, if there is someone who comes for a mediumship reading, of course, I'm going to connect with their loved ones. But then frequently I ask, oh, would you be willing to hear from one of your angels as well towards the end, once we've done whatever?
You're not going to say no.
But I always leave it up to my clients whether they are willing to receive that information. Yes.
And the thing about talking to angels, some people make it very mystical, but they're always there and they're always listening, and you can access your loved ones all the time. And people don't realize that. So that brings peace and comfort when you're able to do that for them too. And something else I can't get over. So you were told you're going to do past life regression and you're going to go into trance. And you just did that? You went into trance and was able to do that?
Yes, because I removed myself, and then yes, yeah. And then this is how it opened up, because then other clients started asking about it. It's always spirit-led. Yeah, it's about, well, the minute I'm not controlling the spirit world, they are able to do whatever it is for the highest good of that person.
Of that person.
Yes. So it's the same with the mediumship. I do what I call a regular mediumship, where I pass the information from people's loved ones. But of course, I can also go into the trance mediumship, where I'm talking, and I blend with the energy of the spirit. But I've been resisting various things, telling, no, this is not for me. But I think when we remove our logical mind and what we are meant to be here, like this is where the magic happens. And this is, yeah, it's about without having those expectations and just trusting that they know how that particular person is to receive the information and they know in what form, through what modality, using what words, or maybe sometimes energy, maybe light language, maybe sometimes you have to bypass the logical mind. Maybe sometimes you need a card because someone will be able to then use their own intuition and open up to that possibility of trusting themselves.
Mm-hmm. Do you teach trance mediumship classes?
No.
Okay.
No, yeah, I keep hearing, not yet. No, I don't.
Okay, that's just the road I'm going down. So I'm always looking for different people that lead that in that direction. Well, you have a lot going on. So tell us about the different things that you can do for people. Because we've got spiritual teacher, mentor, energy aligner, and this is really cool, a gift activator. So kind of tell us about these things that people can come to talk to you about.
Okay, where do I start? Well, I want to start first from the Psychic Mediumship Academy and Psychic Mediumship Foundation course that I've got, which is beautiful because this is what we always, or maybe Spirit always says, that when the student is ready, the teacher appears, but also when the...
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
My dog's got a little excited about something going on outside.
But also when the teacher is ready, the students appear. So this is how my Psychic Mediumship Academy came to life as well. Various people kept approaching me, Marta, are you able to help us? So I started helping other psychic mediums, other light workers to enhance their own abilities, to really tap into their own unique gifts, to help them to trust themselves, and also to overcome fear of some people, fear of being judged by other people, fear of coming out as psychic mediums, fear of not being understood, and then like trusting the spirit world. So this is how I always, whatever programs I create, they're always, well, I don't want to say invented, but inspired by my students. So I always run my programs live. I never have, well, I do have ideas with my spirit team what we are going to teach, but it is my students, then they let me know what is it that we really need. And then I'm able to channel other ideas. And then I've created various self-paced courses as well, because I teach people in different countries and there are different time zones, which means that I've started offering live classes, but also self-paced courses where you get the foundations of energy protection, everything that you really need. And then you can join some classes to practice, whether your intuitive abilities or connecting with spirit. So that's why, well, I've realized that I really wanted to be flexible because everyone's got different ways of how they want to tap into that communication with the spirit world, or maybe connecting with their own intuition. So there is this one part of what I do, empowering other people to spread their wings so they can carry on empowering other people.
Oh, that's
Uh,
wonderful.
Doing it in a very ethical way and ensuring that it's heart centered.
I always hear, I wish I could do what you do, or something like that. And people don't realize that they can do that. They do have that. We all do have those gifts. They just haven't accessed them yet. So, do you find people kind of stay away because they're fearful, or they might be judged by others if they start using their gifts?
Mhm. Well, the other part of the fear that I haven't mentioned is that I've had so many clients who were brought up the way I was brought up, Roman Catholic, or people who are part of churches and they are really scared of being excluded, but also people who are
Oh,
scared of being really excluded by their family members. And but sometimes it's also that I support various people who wouldn't be able to use their psychic mediumship abilities openly because they work in professions that wouldn't accept it. They have code of conducts
oh,
that wouldn't allow them. But I love the fact that we can also do it in an offline capacity because, let's be honest, everyone's got intuition and we can all tap into that. So I
mhm.
love that we can also do it in that way. But everyone, as you've been mentioning, we all have intuition. That's one thing. And then every single person is able to connect with their own loved ones. You don't need a medium to be able to do it. It's nice to find that teacher who's going to teach you and equip you with those tools so you can start doing it on your own, or maybe help you build that trust that what you've experienced is actually the communication from the spirit world. Because highly likely, most people who are doubting themselves or are doubting, or they will tell us, oh, I've never experienced any signs and symbols, are missing the ways that our loved ones are communicating with us. So it's about opening their awareness that actually they are so supported by their spirit team.
They are so supported, and many people don't realize that their team is there all the time and has their back, and sending them love and just wanting to do the best they can for them. Um, and I think a lot of people recognize signs, with the feathers and the money and all this other thing. But I don't know. I just know how peaceful it is when people can connect with their loved ones and get that and know that they're okay, um and that. But I like the psychic part of it. I like to know, hey, what's going to happen down the road and what do you see going on for me too? And so I imagine you do a lot of psychic readings too.
I do, but I also love to combine it with a component of, well, I wouldn't call it coaching, but I love to empower people and I love people to be able to take actions. And well, you will maybe agree or disagree is that I really believe that we can read person's energy, but they have a free will and they can choose to change their path at any given moment. I do believe that we come here on earth to learn certain lessons that are
Yes.
fixed, but then well, what I'm trying to say is that I don't want to specialize in predicting whether someone's going to get a red car or a blue car per se. I'm trying to help people with different type of predictions if we are going to use those words. And what I'm trying to show my clients is that well, and they experience it through me, is that their spirit team frequently is not willing to give them a yes and no answers. Of course, we
Right.
can do it, but I love to bring various perspectives of, for instance, well, you will know it, that our loved ones, they still have the same personality on the other side. So
They
I
do.
can I can channel a message from your grandmother, but you have to, it's up to you whether you're going to listen to her, because she's still opinionated on the other side. She cares about you, but it's an angel maybe that will have more unbiased energy or an opinion, and a spirit guide who will have a bigger picture and maybe access to
Mhm.
your higher self, or maybe your well, where you're heading. So I'm always fascinated by channeling various perspectives while doing those readings. But yes, of course, I also do the components of psychic readings where I'm able to tell people what's going highly likely to happen should they continue being on this particular path, of course.
You mentioned about feeling energy. Can you talk a little bit more about feeling energy
Mhm. Feeling, do you mean feeling the energy of my clients or
of
sensing
your
spirit?
clients, or you can do spirit led too. Actually, both. Let's do both, Marta.
Mhm. Okay. Well, this is spirit. Well, I'm very clairsentient, which means that I pick up on the energies from both, like living. So we can also use the terminology of an empath. But yeah, like spirit uses clairsentience, which means that I am able to feel, when we talk about loved ones, I'm able to feel how they passed. And I had to negotiate with loved ones on the other side throughout the years that I want to reduce that intensity. And I was able to, for instance, negotiate that some of certain passings I would like them to deliver using symbols, as opposed to inundating me with the intensity. And this was very empowering because I experience various types of anxiety as a human, and certain energies of certain loved ones, they come very, very strongly, almost at me, and they really make me feel anxious. And it's only once I started channeling those energies and the vibration
Oh,
um, relaxes, and then I'm able to really be in a mode of channeling. Um, in terms of sensing the spirit world, well, I'm able to sense vibrationally the difference, whether it's someone's loved one, whether it's an angel, or it's a spirit guide. Of course, I'm also seeing them, but I love to teach my students as well how to tell a difference based of the energy, whether it's an angel, spirit guide, or a loved one, because there'll be, well, at least in the way I feel it, our loved ones have a heavier, denser energy
huh.
than, to describe angels, I find it difficult to use the words, but they have a fluffy, ethereal lightness to it. And
Really?
then, so it's the energy, it's how I sense. And then, of course, I'm able to pick up on their emotions in terms of your loved ones, how they are feeling right now. Or sometimes I'm able also to feel how they made you feel. So like it works that way as well
Oh,
when I'm doing the mediumship readings. But in terms of picking up on the energy of my clients, well, I don't pick up, but I'm able to tune into your energy, and I'm able to see what's beneath your smile, for instance, or what you're telling me.
mm-hmm,
um,
mm-hmm.
And I think this is a beautiful ability, because we can, with softness, then support our clients, and with tenderness, allow them to unpack various complicated human emotions that maybe they're not aware of, or maybe they are scared to feel. Um,
Well, I never really thought about that because sometimes I will get chills, and I can always tell when it's my husband, and I can tell other people from the messages I get. But I don't know. I don't know if when my angels are talking to me, um, but a lot of times I don't get the chills. I will just get the download of the message.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured that is more my heavenly team than my family member type things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I think it should be unique to you. I had a student who could smell the earthly tones when her loved ones were around.
Oh,
And this
really?
was just unique to her. So I think as long as you know who is around you, like do it your way. And I think it's so important to not try to be anyone else,
Yeah.
and to just trust that this is the way spirit world communicates, and I'm
Mhm.
not going to change it and accept it for what it is.
I think trust is huge.
Mm.
I think having trust in where you're being led is huge. And that also opens up vulnerability. People have to have a vulnerability to be able to do that also. So sometimes that's scary for people, that we've got that little protective armor around us. And, you know, sometimes it's hard letting people in, but it's a beautiful place to go also. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, Marta, tell us about the different courses that you offer because you
Mhm.
got a lot going on. You really
Mhm.
do. You
Mhm.
got a lot going on.
Shaped by my students and clients and what they've asked me to create, and of course spirit led. So I've mentioned already about the psychic mediumship foundation course, and then I have different types of mentorship, but I want to mention that I also do one-on-one sessions where I help people to work on their intuitive abilities and develop their psychic and mediumship abilities. So then I'm also able to do it one-on-one. So I do it in group
Really? That's
containers, but I also do
nice.
it one-on-one because certain people prefer to work one-on-one. And then
Mhm.
once you're inside of my circle, then I also offer intuitive groups, mediumship groups. I pair students together so they can practice. So there's always that component, but it depends on what my students, clients really need and are ready for at a given moment.
Mhm.
So it's always, I always adjust it and I listen to what is it that they feel like they need, and then I love with my spirit team to push them a little bit out of their comfort zone because this is where we grow,
Yeah.
and we can really feel empowered.
Mhm.
So there is this part. I have a magnetic self-love course that I am so passionate about
Oh.
because I used to be, as I've mentioned, in an abusive relationship. I grew up in a very dysfunctional family. It took me years to build self trust. And I'm not only talking about connection to the spirit world, connection to the intuition, but that connection to my soul, connection to myself. And as cliche as it sounds, it took me a long time to really love myself and tap into this self-love. And I truly believe that our inner world is being reflected by our outer world. So the more work we are going to do on our inner side, the better, the more exciting, the more magnetic our human experience gets to be. So everything that I've tested on myself, I've turned into a magnetic self-love course, and now it's got the form of a self-paced course, but I also do the mentorship sessions where some people enroll and they work with me during 5 sessions, some work during the 10 sessions. Every couple of years I run free events. So there's this theme of supporting women so they can really trust themselves, so
Mhm.
they can not outsource their decisions, so they can start listening to their intuition. And I know it's not only about women, but I've been passionate. This particular one's been meant for women. It's about, well, every single woman that I've worked with, they stopped listening to their intuition because they've been told that's not true, or they've been listening to other people telling them what to do, how to live their life. So I'm very passionate about enabling my students to live their lives unapologetically on their own terms, and seeing them feeling so happy, empowered,
Howard.
doing, yeah. So this is this part that I also do, and it just happened. I don't even really know. It was spirit led. So there, and of course, with some people, I bring the component of angels, like spirituality for those who are opened, and I think that brings an extra layer to this particular offering. The recent groups that I've created with the spirit world. Okay, what are the recent one? Okay, I have the whole on the website called meditations. So there is a silent meditation, there's an alignment space, and open space. What happened is that I used to use light language for a while now, but I didn't even know that it was a light language. And then in the most challenging moments of my life during the recent, let's say, let's call it a year, a light language started coming out of my mouth, and then the hand, it comes in a form of hands and then like words. Basically, I was put on a path with different other practitioners with whom I started collaborating, and we started running some events, and I used to be part of their groups. Then they started being part of my groups, and they started encouraging me to offer the space where you can be without the external noise. And I've also come up with the idea of having silent meditation as a filter for many people who are not going to be able to, or are not ready to sit with themselves. Because being part of a silent meditation, whoa, it takes a huge courage to be able, but this is my most powerful offering, where I feel there is so much, I don't like to say the word transformation, energy alignment, healing, awareness, whatever the person needs. Because what happens is that, what I call it, I stabilize the field. I open myself to the spirit world. I bring the presence of my angel spirit guides, whatever energies I am channeling during a given session. And those people are able then to receive codes, transmission, and then what you've mentioned, their gifts are getting activated, and all of a sudden they get those what I call aha moments. Okay, this is what I'm going to do next. And it's not, I'm not controlling it, I'm just allowing the spirit world to work through me. So it's in silence, and then when I get transmissions, I channel light language. What I'm passionate about is that I've started asking my students to do the same, and I've realized during many sessions that they start getting light language as well, so they're able to empower themselves. So I never know what's going to happen during those silent meditations. Open space is a space where I would say it's almost an equivalent, nothing is traditional, but if you think about group readings,
Yes.
mediumship group. So my open space is a space where you can come and ask me any question. It's, I don't like to call it Q&A, but I sometimes bring someone's loved one. I sometimes pull a card. It's an opportunity to spend time with me, and it's more interactive. And we are able to support each other, and I'm able to read your energy. I'm able to do whatever is needed at this particular moment. And I always work one-on-one with as many people as it is possible during the session. So there's a difference. And then I have alignment space, which is my monthly 2-hour workshop. And every couple of months, I choose a theme, and sometimes we concentrate on connecting with your loved ones. Sometimes there's a theme that we work on getting to know our angels. Sometimes we work on automatic writing. But sometimes what happens during this particular session is that because it's 2 hours, it allows people to to soften, to be present. And I always take people through a guided meditation. We do some interactive exercises. We channel for each other. It's always spirit led. So those are the group sessions that I've recently started offering, and I'm so passionate. But I'm passionate about every single.
You are, and I got to tell you, Marta, everything about you is all love based. It's all love based. It all comes from love, and it all comes from empowering people too, which is beautiful. And to think back that you started down this road from leaving an abusive relationship. I mean, that's what got you going on this. And then you heard from your grandma, and then it kind of just led from there. How long ago was that? 5 years, 10 years that you started down that road?
Well, I left my marriage in 2018. So this is when it all started.
More recently, yeah.
So it's more recently. Yeah. And there has been always something. And then, as you know, I lost my mom in 2022. She crossed over. And that's been, well, I'm able to support people even more now because my mom was in a coma in 2010, and I had to learn how to cope grieving her while she was still alive, which means that I have a unfortunate or fortunate experience of anticipatory grief, like trying to grieve someone who is like living in pieces, but at the same time, I've experienced so much what I call miracles from telepathic communication just before she crossed over. And our relationship now, since she crossed over, is different. She wasn't able to be the mother she wanted to be here on earth. It was a very complicated one. And this is what this is another reason why I'm so passionate about helping other people to connect with their own loved ones. Because if I can have a coffee with my mom, if she can still annoy me by playing Tina Turner when I don't listen her, if I can still make jokes and they can what I've realized that many of my friends or other people I've encountered, they didn't have that connection with their loved ones. And I speak with my grandparents. I have so many loved ones on the other side, and they send me signs. And then we talk, and I felt like, oh, I want everyone to be able to do it. And especially those who perhaps had that complicated relationship, or maybe they didn't have any connection. I want people to know that it is possible to have that connection on the other side, because my mom is the mom right now that she's always wanted to be. She comes to me in dreams, she protects me. And initially I didn't believe her. I was so upset with her. And I told her, again, you don't want me to be happy. You're still interfering with my life. But every single time she came in a dream, which was a visitation, yes, she was always so spot on. So I want people to know as well that it is still possible, and that our loved ones, well, they have a choice to see how they treated you or how your relationship with them worked out in this particular lifetime. And that frequently what I experience from my own communication with loved ones, but also when I'm channeling those messages, is they feel sorry, but they leave it always up to you whether you're going to be willing to establish a connection with them. But I think there's something beautiful when you realize that you can still do this forgiveness work for yourself.
And that's huge.
No matter whether they're in a physical form
or not. Yeah.
Or not.
Well, and I think those people come into our lives with, that's their purpose. That's what we've agreed upon. This is what we're going to work on in this life. Yeah, because I know I had a relationship with my sister that was very contentious. And when I talked to her in spirit form after she passed, it was, I loved you so much that I agreed to do that with you. in this lifetime. And that put just a different spin on it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she hated me, and she was so mean to me. And then, oh, that's the agreement we had before we came. Okay. Then it was just like, oh my God, that all made sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Marta, you are fascinating and you just exude love. You do. It's beautiful to be with you. I understand you have something for the audience too. Can you tell us about that? What you have for the audience?
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I do have a free gift for
Yeah.
anyone. Well, for everyone, but for anyone who has never established or tried communicating with their own loved ones, you can allow yourself to listen to a practice meditation where I take you to this meditative state where you can connect with your own loved ones, where you can learn basics about how our loved ones communicate, learn a little bit about signs and symbols. And this is that starting point. Yes, so this is what I've got for anyone who would love to experience
Oh,
that.
I'm going to go check out your free gift. And you guys, it's running on the bottom of the screen so you can see it's her website. And then it says free gift. So that's really cool, isn't it? And I imagine your website has all your classes and all the other information that people need too to reach out to you. Did we cover everything that you wanted to talk about today?
I think we did. I didn't have any agenda or anything that I really wanted to cover. I always believe that whatever we cover in any given moment, it is what Spirit wants us to cover. Well, one thing that I want to mention, because as you can see, I've got so many offers and so many readings for anyone who is just perhaps lost in Marta's world. The best thing is to contact me and tell me a little bit about yourself or what you're hoping to do, and then I can guide you to maybe what's best
Yes.
for you to do in terms of course or reading. Of course, the choice is always yours, but if you don't know where to start,
You can help with that.
feel free to email me, and then I'll be able to let you know what my spirit team and I feel like could be worth exploring.
Mm-hmm. Very well put. Okay, well, Marta, we're going to hear a little something from my husband now. He always gives me a little message before we started, so we'll see how it tied in with the theme today. So let's see where that man is and what we're going to hear from him. Oh, there he is. That's how my husband Bono looked around the time that we met, way back in 1995, 96. So, love from Bono. So many talented spiritual people on this planet. Do you access your gifts? You have the same gifts too. Have you tried using them? Do thoughts come into your head out of nowhere? Do you pay attention to those thoughts? Your guides, your team, your family members are constantly talking to you. They want you to listen. They are near. Are you ready to tune into them? And I'm going to tell you, Marta, that's what you've been talking about the whole time, about it all being spirit-led and going where they lead you and listening to them and accepting all that. So, oh my goodness, Marta, I want to thank you. Can we make Bono go away for right now? I love you, honey, but you got to go away because I want to see beautiful Marta right now. And my doggies are coming in to say hi to you too, Marta. They've been actually quite good today. I'm going to give them a little cookie right now because I'm proud of them. They've been so distracted. So, Marta, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure. And is there anything else you want to leave our audience with before we go?
Well, what my guide kept singing before we started recording is all about what you've been mentioning about love. I kept hearing the song "All We Need Is Love." Love is all we need. So this is the message.
That's the Beatles.
Yeah, this is what I kept hearing before this is what I kept hearing before we started recording.
Oh, and it's true. All you need is love. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure talking with you.
I really enjoyed this conversation, and I hope it's going to be, well, useful for anyone in whatever form it is to be.
I think it will be. It will reach the people it's supposed to reach.
Yeah.
Someone's getting excited over here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.